It's 5:34.
This is the General Services and Administration meeting on 2/20/2020. The meeting is hereby called to order at 5:34 p.m. Dr. Guy, call the roll.
Counselor Austin.
Present.
Counselor Smith is absent. Counselor Stevenson.
Present.
And we have our law director here from the administration present.
Remarks of the public on agenda items. None. We'll move on to legislation.
Okay, we have ordinance number 06-20, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with the Ohio Department of Transportation pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code 5521.01 to improve the signage, crosswalks, pedestrian signals, and sidewalks to service the East Cleveland City Schools in the city of East Cleveland and declaring an emergency for the public safety and welfare. Requested by Mayor Brandon L. King and sponsored by Brian C. Stevenson, Council Vice President, Ward 4.
Okay. This ordinance, I understand it was for, and the contract date is, the application deadline is March 6th, but there's no application attached here. So I don't know what that application is going to say, or the amount of money, or pretty much anything about it.
Now, can I add to that?
And there's a typo in the date on the first whereas, I think, 215. Now I'm thinking what's the real for that meeting. Okay. Now
The
we're
record,
yeah, let's
record reflect, we have our council president present and guests, Councilor Juanita Gowdy present.
go ahead.
This is actually a grant that the mayor discussed. When ODOT was here, they offered us the opportunity to apply for a grant the next day. And that grant actually came over, and this is the result of that grant request. So, Madam Law Director, this is the same connected
Yes,
discussion.
what it is the application is online, and the executive assistant to the police chief fills it out. She did not know about it, she's new, and she came across it and then came to my office yesterday afternoon and asked me to do what I could to get it before you as soon as possible because the deadline is March 6th. So I just did what I could in order to bring it to your attention.
the mayor coming?
Yes.
He's not here yet, so.
Okay, so I have the packet.
Yeah, the grant has a March 6th deadline,
Yes.
so she's working on it now, or?
Yes, and she needs this legislation to send to DC with it. And so, I did have some, which she gave me a supporting, documentation, which is did you get those pieces of paper? The supporting documentation?
Yeah, but that's not, it doesn't tell us what the grant is for, it doesn't tell us the time frame, how much money the grant is for, stuff like that.
The one sheet that came through this.
Yeah, I have it.
The two sheets.
Yeah, two sets.
Yeah. So that's all I got yesterday afternoon, which is about almost 3 o'clock. So I rapidly pulled it together based on the fact that we had done it before about 3 or 4 years ago, I believe. So I think that we're eligible for $25,000 according to the supporting documentation she has circled.
Right. 1 to 5 schools, 25,000.
And then she had a very extemporaneously put down the 5 elementary schools. The high schools are not eligible for the grant. Is to improve the crosswalks and the striping and the signage.
Yeah, this is one of those things that I asked the governor to assist us with to improve the aesthetics and the functionality of our crosswalks. By making we have like 2 white lines, and it's places where I wanted obviously to be crossing in addition to just the 2 white lines in our school zones. So this is an opportunity for us to kind of get there. I believe we have somebody who's eventually going to assist us in finding these grants, hopefully with a little bit more time to actually, prepare and prepare the grant
And
kind of
apply.
like councilman, and there's something coming down the pike as opposed to here's something to take it.
Yeah.
I know that the fire department is also working on a grant because I had to find the census tract number for them today, so they're pulling that together as well. But it's not ready for your review yet.
Mm-hmm.
But this was very extemporaneous.
Okay, well, can she,
March 6th by 5 p.m.
right,
We can ask the police chief or I don't know if the executive assistant to the police chief would be available, but we could ask the police chief to give us greater detail.
can we just ask her for, I don't know what payment.
The RFP?
Well, I don't need it. I need to see what it is they're gonna do, pretty much. So if she could give me the concept page or something along that line, project description.
Oh, okay, I'll
If
ask
she could
her.
give me that, if she could just shoot that to me.
Yeah, I had asked her if she had anything more yesterday afternoon, and at that point, that's all she had. But I'm sure if she calls DC, they can email her some more extensive
Well,
information.
what I need is to see, what I need to see is what the city is submitting.
Oh, okay.
So if whatever she's writing has to have a concept page, a project description, something like that.
Okay.
So,
The application,
right,
the city's application.
right, that's what I need to see.
I'll ask Ms. Myers for that.
3, 4. Number 4, whereas number 4, it has a little bit of information, not necessarily the dimensions per se, but it does say, to
Right.
include the signage, crosswalks, pedestrian signals, and crosswalks to serve the East Cleveland City Schools in the city of East Cleveland as local participation agency. I got you. Okay. So yeah, this is indeed something we asked for. So
Yeah, and that's
let's
cool.
get the additional information.
I just need the project description or a concept page or something.
All right. I'm sure we can have that ready for the next agenda review, if possible.
That's next Thursday.
Mm, next Thursday, is that gonna give her enough time? Next
Yes.
Thursday is like the 3rd.
Next
No,
Thursday is
that's
the 20th.
It's the 20th.
27th.
That's fine. You got time.
The 27th, February 27th.
That's the 27.
Okay, alright. So yeah, if she could get me something by
So the
then.
3rd, 4th will be the next council meeting. So we
The
should be
3rd will be, yeah.
3rd next council meeting.
And then she can overnight the package to DC
Right.
We
or,
still got time.
I don't even know if now you can just submit it
It's submitted
online.
online.
Mhm.
She doesn't have to,
Yeah, send it
yeah. Now she's gonna have to get the signatures.
for the legislation right away.
Yep. You don't want to sign this.
The council clerk,
Clerk, contractual agent, clerk. President of Council. Yeah, she's gonna need the signatures to scan and upload the document. Okay. All right. Any other questions? All right.
Did you want to move with the, revision, with the, information?
Yes, we can
Yes, I support moving it.
move it out of committee with those revisions that were requested.
Thank you. I'll make sure you have more information
Okay.
for agenda review.
Okay, Dr. Guy?
Okay, the next piece of legislation is resolution number 07-20, a resolution authorizing the disposal of non-functional obsolete computer equipment that is of no further use to the city to junk or scrap pursuant to appropriate health and safety regulations in order to provide for safe access upon city workspaces requested by the IT department, sponsored by Corinne C. Stevenson, Council Vice President, Workforce.
I don't have any problem with this, except it speaks to speaks to attachments that aren't here.
Right.
And in light of what's going on with Claude.
Did you not get the supporting documentation with the list? Yeah, I sent the list as well.
No.
Because it says something about Exhibit A.
Right.
and I don't
Yeah,
see
it
There's
was,
no attachment.
It's on the email.
it's on the email.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't, I can, yeah, I thought it had come to you.
Computers fall under health and safety.
No, it just says health and safety. It just says appropriate for health
It
and
doesn't fall
safety
under health and safety,
regulations.
it's just service.
I do
What were you saying
know,
about the
Mr.
content?
Claude has no problem showing us.
Contract? I don't have it in front of us, I guess. In that piece of legislation, say something in the content needs to be changed.
On this piece?
Uh-huh.
No, we just need the attachment. It
Okay.
references an attachment, but the attachment is not here.
I think it was something to be corrected in 0620, the date,
0720.
0620 had a date.
Oh, that, you got that right, the 215, right? Yeah, she got that.
What is it?
On 0620,
August 10th.
August 10th, 215.
Oh.
You haven't lived that long,
Right.
right? Okay, so she went to get the attachment. So what's your pleasure here?
I think once we get the attachment, we can move it forward because this is a disposal process that this is the right committee for it. We take a look at it and make sure that the items are actually present and they're disposed of in a dignified manner. And he says junking it or scrapping it, I'm sure he'll. And here, I guess we can ask him in the future to actually put, how they're supposed to be disposed of. Like hard drive got to be smashed and, all that kind of removed from actual computers and hard drive smashed. And then we kind of get into appropriate detail.
Okay.
It's basically inoperable computer equipment,
Right.
things like that. He'll come in and he'll take us down and show us everything. And
I recall there's a company that they use that they take you remember that Council Austin?
I remember going down there, and I don't remember it actually being a company that did the recovery. I know you talked about, smashing some stuff and rolling over some stuff. Last time, he also considered having some things that were possibly rebuilt and letting Shaw High School students do some
Right.
of those.
And then there were
Right.
opportunities depending on the equipment, where they take it and get money back off the equipment, but
Right, that's scrap, yeah.
that's scrap. Okay.
So, yeah, just, it'd be nice to be able to ask them just, a couple of questions, but so we all get smarter as we go with the expectation for disposal of all automation products.
Okay.
But yeah, you normally have this little hallway, you take you downstairs, and show show you all the stuff in the hallway. The stuff you get rid of.
Any other questions?
Can
Regarding?
I ask a question?
Mhm.
Do you get money off of that? The straps?
If there's any dollars, they supposed to go back to the general fund.
Okay,
So
so how will we know
recovery.
how much?
Because there is a process by which you have to fill out documentation. That documentation goes to the administration, they are supposed to review it.
Okay,
So all dollars that are recovered from houses, cars, bus, planes, and trains go back to the general fund. That's what it says in the charter. So
okay.
more to follow.
Any other questions?
For me.
So we're gonna move it forward.
Yes, please. And obviously we don't, let's get our list of what these items are, so we'll be locked in and get the legislation tied in appropriately. Make a note so we are required information.
I do have a question. You guys wanna wait till the second read to call him in, or you gonna call him in on the first read?
Well, he's not here. His mother died
Oh my God.
this
My
morning.
condolences. Okay, didn't know that.
Yeah. So we'll have to wait till he comes back from the bereavement to talk to him. So we're good.
Leave it.
You got an assistant that, I don't know.
No, we have to end.
Okay, we can.
Oh,
Like
okay.
go on the remarks of the public. You want it?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, well, I'm sorry, I'm not the chairman, I'm sorry.
Chair.
Council Vice President.
Good evening. I have a prior engagement, but I wanted to, I missed to be able to talk about the resolution for the obsolete of the computer.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think I've heard
given it
you.
to him in the email, but I guess it wasn't
Yeah,
printed
I
out.
missed it, but well, I see it.
Okay, there you
Do
go.
we have
Okay.
any questions for that? I don't think we
Not
have.
really, we got it.
Okay, sure.
We understand the process, we just wanna make sure that we had, this.
Oh, you didn't have this. Oh, okay. I thought you did. I thought you had
7,
it.
8, 9, 10 items that, we don't end up, losing,
Right.
200 or only losing one. We should be losing all 9 properly disposed, or correction, all 10 properly
Right.
disposed of. We just, getting our verifications for that.
And just to also give you a visual, the items that's on that list, or I don't know if when you go to council office where the server room is, outside there's a bunch of stuff, that's the stuff that's on that list.
Outside in the hall.
Yeah, outside the hallway. Just to let you know that most of those items are, there's no salvage value to them. And they're past 10 years old. So I just want to clarify that.
Okay,
All right, we're good.
thank
All
you.
right.
We have an old monitor in our office.
It's gonna be on the next list.
Okay, we can play.
Thank you.
Let's
Thank you,
move
Director.
it, moving.
We are moving it to the agenda.
Yes, ma'am.
Remarks of the public? Guess we're still looking for the public. Remarks of council? Oh, here comes the mayor now. Maybe it went to mayor. Remarks of council and the mayor, to public remarks. He just went that way.
Excuse me. Oh, Mayor, you're.
Do you have any, council, do you have any remarks?
What about the other pieces?
Identify.
The officer.
That's what they have reported now.
Counselors, you're up.
You can,
Remarks from
remarks.
you if you have any.
Okay. So, council, how are you all tonight?
How you doing?
This is General Services.
Yes.
So there were a couple pieces that aren't on the agenda, and that's fine. As long as we can talk about them, we can always get them on an agenda at some point. But I like to have a conversation over and over and over, so by the time it comes to vote, there's no question and no confusion, because when the public gets up, they always throw something to try to confuse what the topic at hand is. So I like to have as many conversations on things as we can. There's a couple pieces that aren't there. So one is the Shaw Alumni Weekend. We want to set up off-street parking and be able to charge for it. It would be $10 a vehicle. And initially what we're thinking, the area by the tennis court, we close that off and we charge $10 a spot, $10 a car. And then behind the tennis courts, where it's going back down into the ball diamonds, charge $10 a car to park back there. Now, for those of you who have been to the events, you know you get a couple thousand people there, right? I believe 3,000 to 5,000 is what they estimate. There's parking all over that Forest Hill area. Residents are charging as much as $20 to park on their lawn, right? But unlike the residents, the city is not doing this to make money. It's not about making money. This is about covering the expenses that we incur over the course of that weekend. Cleanup and all the cleanup is even all of the volunteer stuff that we do going into that weekend doesn't cover what we outlay, right? Service department overtime, getting it ready, service department overtime, cleaning it up, volunteers, even the alumni association that come out, I forget who it was, donated trash bags. That stuff covers and is beautiful, but it does not cover the total cost of this. Not to mention the Saturday night Tucker event. That thing growing, and it, thank God, no fights, no arrests, no nothing else beyond that. But it costs the city money. So this will be a way to help us kind of control traffic up there, right? And offset the cost of them. So we need legislation to allow us to charge for the parking.
I've submitted it, Mayor.
Oh, she submitted it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that legislation is about. There'll be another piece that'll be coming at you, kind of sort of tied to it, but not tied exactly to it. We're going to be looking to adjust our fees for a number of things that we do, including renting the park, renting the civic center, having street block parties. We need to adjust some of these fees. So we're doing the research on that now, and that should be coming back at you in legislative form. What was the other one?
NOPEC.
And the other one is a NOPEC. What was the NOPEC again?
The North East Ohio. It's an energy grant that we get in order to join other communities for collaborative pricing to reduce energy costs in light and gas. So they have that too. They have the supporting documentation, at least in the email.
That's a
Recurring, yeah.
Yes, it's
That's a recurring grant.
Is it- it's a grant?
$21,000, yeah.
Okay, yes. So we need to accept that every year. That's the one that since council a couple years back passed the gas aggregation, and then the residents voted for it and said yes, right? So we should see an uptick in that, and that usually comes out February, mid to late February. We usually get awarded that, so now you need to accept it. And it's right on time, because we over there putting in work at the MLK. That's where we're gonna put it.
Is this the energy efficient?
Mm-hmm. So it's gotta be used for energy efficient. You know, we did the ceiling, they're doing the walls. We're gonna change the electrical box configuration, and we're gonna change the bulbs. We're going to LEDs on there.
Any more LED lighting?
Yes, yes. So we are.
I think I requested for our office at some point.
Yeah. So we are getting new lights. We just ordered some lights. Take 3 weeks to get in, but I think people seem to like these lights. The other ones that just mount like this, or that sit below, we can get those in about a week. We'll talk further about the council's office and what y'all want to do.
And Mayor, I just got this afternoon late, and I had some interruptions. I was trying to get that submitted to them too, the regular engineers bridge inspection program from the county. And that's a grant as well. They just have to accept it. As soon as I can get it to you, that probably will go on general services.
Yes.
Well, also the bridge inspection program.
That's another reoccurring grant, the bridge inspection.
Can we get them to mark the bridges too? We'll verify proper signage on those bridges as a part of that grant? Or that's just simply inspection?
That's just the inspection. We can ask them about doing the height thing. Of course, I actually have some new signs coming now for Eddie Road.
Please, because I'm
People,
tired of seeing trucks.
Sunday, there was another truck Sunday
I seen that.
that
I didn't see the accident. I seen the after.
got mangled.
Yeah, right.
Coming up Eddie Road. The problem with Eddie Road is that when you come underneath the bridge coming from over by Patterson Park,
Right.
that sign is right by the service. So a lot of times they miss it.
There ain't no sign there coming that way.
It
The
is.
sign is on the other side, coming from McDonald's towards Hayden. It's a sign. It's marked there. On the other
Right.
side, it's not marked.
No, it's marked. It's
With the
right.
height?
It's right by the service entrance when you go in the service
On the
department.
other side of the bridge.
When you coming up Eddie Road towards McDonald's.
Right. That's how it's marked, but it's the bridges are different heights. They're like
The
this.
bridges are different heights,
Right.
but the correct height of that bridge is marked. It's just when you come up under that bridge, it's right there. So a lot of times you ain't looking at it, right? So we're gonna put that there. We're gonna put another one closer to the bridge, right? Now the proper markings for that particular style of sign is 50 to 100 feet from the bridge, right? It's usually where you see those signs. The signs that are on the bridge are a different style sign,
Okay.
right?
It's placard like.
But they keep missing that sign. So we're gonna leave that and put another one up by the bridge.
I'm missing the heck out of that.
Yeah, see,
I don't remember seeing that.
even you miss it. Yeah, but it's costing, because I wrecked a truck like that before. That thing was, I think, $1,100 to fix the roof.
All right. I also want to see if you can address one more issue about the grant from, looks like the police department put together the grant for.
Safe routes to school.
Yes.
They wanted more information on that. I just got that yesterday afternoon, about 3:00. And they don't have the RFP, nor do they have the application. And with the application filled out, I was going to talk to Ms. Myers about that tomorrow.
That's a recurring grant. We've had the safe routes to school. That comes
Yeah,
from the
in
county.
2017, right?
Yeah, that comes from the county.
It comes from ODOT.
It comes from ODOT.
Yeah, it comes from ODOT. It's recurring. We've had it
It comes from
in
ODOT.
2014, 2017.
The guy from the county walked, because they actually come out, and we met and then we walked all the kids over to Superior Elementary. Then we met at B&M, and we walked all the kids down 3rd, up 6th, and into Mayfair. And then we met, where did we meet for that other school up on the hill?
Caledonia?
Caledonia. We met somewhere and we walked. So you walk your kids to school as part of this grant. They come out and they talk about safe routes to school and then obeying the traffic guard. It's a really nice event in which the police come out, fire come out, and kind of meet the kids and the teachers and all that. So yeah, it's something that we've done before.
Is that when they came on the bikes and everything?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
The bike rodeo is actually a part of this grant as well.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's reoccurring grant, so that makes me feel a little bit better about, you mentioned something that has been, on my mind lately about the traffic guard and when we're gonna get those folks put in place in schools.
So we actually have posted for additional traffic guards now. And, I'm not sure the success rate of getting that field. I know when I was in school, it was kids' parents who were the crossing guards. So they had a vested interest in seeing that the kids got there.
Right.
And I'm not sure who's the crossing guards now, right? But while there's a lack of applicants for crossing guards, I know when we were there, sometimes you have a crossing guard in a uniform and another parent just standing there helping too,
Right.
right? It's their kids, they want to make sure the kids get there okay. So yeah, so stay tuned on that. But there is money for it, and there's a grant available for it, and we are working towards that.
Okay, great, got it. Thank you, Madam Vice President.
Anything else? Any
Can I-
comments on the meeting last night?
Madam President, can I ask you a question about the money that's going to be for the park? They're gonna collect money for the park, but is we gonna have meter for the park?
Well, you can ask me.
Is we gonna have meters for the park? How is y'all gonna monitor the money? Is it gonna be tickets or what?
So at events like that, it's usually those two. You know how you get the when you're doing like a raffle, one ticket go in the bucket and the other ticket go on your windshield. So it'll be something like that, and
So
it'll
where the
be
money gonna go?
where's the money going to go?
We get cash money, cause a lot of people have
Right.
credit cards and stuff like that, so.
It'll be all cash. There'll be no credit cards. We don't have a credit card machine that can take credit card on the spot. So
I mean, who's supposed to be monitoring the money? I mean, is it going to be, how many people gonna be monitoring the money, you know?
we'll just have a policeman there or a fireman there collecting the money, right? It's not Vegas where you got the pit boss watching the dealer, and then the slot boss watching the pit boss watching the
No, it's
dealer.
not like that. I wasn't
Yeah.
saying that. I was just saying that a booth. You need somebody like a booth, and they put the money in the booth, and it adds up. We got enough time to do that.
So I'm not sure of the details. I understand your concern for cash money,
Mm-hmm.
and we will address it. We've never done it before, so we'll see what type of arrangements the police come up with, because that's gonna let the police and fire handle that.
Okay. Thank you.
So last night I was really sorry you missed last night. Any comments or concerns or comments, questions about last night?
Since you don't force me there, I guess I'll break out my notes.
It pretty much covered everything for me. The only thing that was missing for me that I had planned on contacting the county about was what they call the tree umbrella. Not that we need more trees, but there's some streets that have beautiful trees on the tree lawns, and then there's some streets that don't have anything. And so that was one of the things that I wanted to investigate further.
It's a good question. So the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, if I'm not mistaken, they gave the city of Aurora maybe 7 years ago. They gave them a humongous grant to take down trees and then plant trees, right? So we've talked about that with some of our interns to go out and pursue that, because we've been managing the tree canopy all over the city now for 3 years, right? And as we not just cut and trim trees, but actually take trees down, we do and have been thinking about how do we then go and replace the tree canopy throughout the city and start to replant trees. So that's a good thought, and something we have talked about have not fully addressed it. So I don't have an answer for you as to when we'll start that, but it is something that we have talked about.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor. I'm glad you kind of brought up the East Cleveland Advisory Group meeting that took place downtown yesterday. I was very, very happy to see a lot of the partners that actually came out to say that they not only care, that they're actually willing to do the work. Did some expectation management on the road ahead, which I really did appreciate knowing what's going on. Had the opportunity to get a citywide update with our partners about what the governor signed up for while he was here, kind of sharing some of his thoughts and seeing how committed he was to the citizens of East Cleveland, getting us to a place where we are indeed thriving. Had a vision plan update from Dr. Dean Anglin from Cleveland State. He did a very good job of describing, how nice it was to see the residents over at McGregor kind of coming together and focusing on what was important to them growing up, the things that are important right now, and what they would like to see in the future by having our city revitalized in a way that our citizens provided the input to what we're going to get at the end. He also talked about some of the things that stop the citizens from thriving individually. And oftentimes what we don't think about, if you don't have a car, sometimes you don't have a job just because you don't have a car. So they talked about some initiatives that would help our residents get that vehicle they're looking for. And obviously you have to be qualified, have to have certain things in place and a good plan. And they talked about how sometimes we don't understand how centralizing jobs and centralizing the workforce can kind of make it easier for people to get up and go where they need to go. If you have to go to Painesville every day from East Cleveland, that's not really that cool. It's tough, and it snows. It's all kinds of obstacles you have to overcome to get to work. So if we can move some of those opportunities a little bit closer to home, it's a little bit easier to get there back and forth, because you're not just not getting to work because you don't want to get there. Because if you signed up, that means you want to prosper in your life. So different situations where you might be able to get an opportunity to actually thrive as a citizen. There's also an opportunity for an essay. The No Car, No Job, the Paradox Prize is what I wrote in my notes. You can clear that for me. It was a 500-word essay that can help you achieve some of the things you're trying to get to. And I don't remember what the exact dollar figure was, that you kind of sign up and get this opportunity to thrive or get a vehicle, or you can share specifics. But there were 65 jobs right now in Painesville. And the way this worked, as I understand, is that with those 65 jobs, if you are fortunate enough to sign in, they will get you back and forth to work an opportunity for you to get a vehicle at the end of that getting you back and forth, building you up to get strong enough financially to get your own ride and start getting to the job of the future. And I was very, very excited. And I know somebody probably looked across the room like, why is this dude so excited? Because I heard somebody say that they're selflessly trying to help the residents of East Cleveland. And this is from the county to NASA to all kinds of folks to list, and the list of partners went on. And I was so very happy to hear that, at the library, there's a person named Stephanie Mercado from Jobs Ohio, sponsored by the governor, saying, we are going to get you a job. If you don't have a job at this point, according to what I understand the mayor said one time, that means you don't want a job. Because they have programs that was helping ex-felons or felons, what was accelerated, what was that term, Mayor? I got a note here. It was the accelerated pardon program. And that is a program to assist felons in getting those things that are reasonable, because we don't want to put you in a situation where you're almost encouraged to reoffend.
Right.
So with reason, they're working it out for you. And I was so excited, and I'm not able to communicate my level of excitement and appreciation for the work that the team is willing to do. But I'm looking forward to the renaissance of East Cleveland, and we got the right folks at the table. I was very, 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 very happy to see all those folks coming around the table to talk about what we're going to do to get East Cleveland where they need to be in a selfless way. So, and that's what I got. Thank you, Mayor, for asking.
Thank you, Council President.
I'm just
a lot of points there. Anything you need clarity on, you have to go one by one. But I did want to thank you all again for coming out, and just unfortunately we missed you, Council President and Council Clerk, to let you know at the table was basically the who's who of Cuyahoga County and the state. Not necessarily from an individual perspective, but from university. We had Case, right? We had Cleveland State, right? The guy with Case brings in UH, right? GE is on the phone. Right? We in the county building. We had the state minority liaison speaking. That was Ronald Todd, right? On this committee is GE, Key Bank, right? Guy Michael Dean, he's an investment banker. Brian Hall works for GCP, which is a nonprofit economic development arm that funds projects, funds development, right? Another lady there. Many of you won't remember the guy from Fund for Our Economic Future, the organization. It's
He sat next to me.
sat next to you. You may not remember him from NOAA, right? I know sometimes y'all like, man, why you keep harping? I've been with NOAA since NOAA was down at the church. So I can tell you the body of work we've put in at NOAA. I can tell you the relationships we built. The reason Bradford Davey came back is because he worked with NOAA, right? He remembers the community. He knows the need. He knows the people. He knows the people that can then get this stuff done, right? So yes, they have jobs in Ashtabula, wherever they are, building boats, and there's another manufacturer up there that can't find employees. The way it's set up, they will take you on a bus out to the job. You work your 7 hours, however many you work, bring you back. After 6 months, 9 months, the probation period, you get a raise, and then the bus ride, the cost of that goes down, right? Through Ohio Means Jobs, which is separate than Jobs Ohio. Ohio Means Jobs does job placement, job training, resume writing, and they're at a number of county libraries throughout Cuyahoga County. We bought them in the East Cleveland at the East Cleveland Public Library. The lady you mentioned is a lady from the pilot program, Stephanie Mercado, from Jobs Ohio's pilot program that they're introducing in the East Cleveland first. She'll be our economic development person that they'll be paying for. Can't remember the lady's name from Ohio Means Jobs that's at the library.
Miss Johnson,
I think it is Miss Johnson. The way that's set up and the way Special Purpose Grant 33 will be set up, compliments of the awardee to Tri-C, is we're not trying to get people jobs. We're trying to make careers for people. That's exactly what this is. Yeah, you can get a job today, but we're interested. What are your life goals? What do you dream about doing? We want people to have careers so they get up and want to go to work, right? That's what we're working on here. Let's see, what else did you have? I'll give you one that we didn't spend a lot of time on, but that is coming. So the RTA and the schools are short bus drivers, right? The organization that we work with to provide Christmas gifts, and this year I believe it was about 50,000 worth of Christmas toys that they supplied to families here. They're short workers. Electrolyzer, short workers, which is, we have 2 manufacturing plants here. They're short workers, right? So we need to better develop what training looks like here in the city, through the school, separate from the school, for those jobs, right? And for the CDLs, which are easy CDL to get. It's not the 18-wheeler like I have. It's the other one, school buses, and the RTA buses, right? Mechanics, diesel mechanics, greasy job, but they make great money. We've already met with the schools a number of times with Dr. Pettigrew to further that discussion. And we had the guy out from, I can't think of the name of this company. I gotta give them a special thanks for all the toys that they do here in the city. But that is to come.
What about the First Energy situation? First Energy jobs, I had a note in the blocks for them too.
First Energy has jobs. Linemen, sometimes you got to start off with grunt work and work your way up, but they had jobs. I said it before. People who say they don't have jobs, not looking for no job, right? Walmart, Lowe's, right? They all hiring. People who got a job, not looking for a job. Right? Not to mention the medical marijuana is hiring, as is Amazon. Yeah. You gotta start somewhere.
Yeah. Alright. Is that all you have, sir?
Yes, Madam Vice President, excuse me.
Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Gallup, you have anything?
Not at this moment. Thank you.
President Smith?
Thank you, Madam Vice President. I'd like to all my colleagues, Dr. Guy, Madam Law Director, Cameraman Drew, Officer Allen, Mayor King. Unfortunately, we have lack of residents today. So again, I just want to reiterate, I'm begging you all to please attend our committee meetings. They are very, very, very important. Next, I want to just a few brief comments about the Shaw Reunion Park situation, because I attend every year and it's near and dear to my heart, everything about East Cleveland Shaw. I have no problem with this. Last year, a couple of our neighbors, they hit me for $20. And I paid it just to park on the lawn and have a good little parking spot. And the city can, because I know that day and night cost the city a lot of funding. And as far as I understand my colleagues' concerns, them are very legit concerns. I could just say, like, with the tickets, we would be able to count the amount of tickets added up with the amount of fund money that was took in and everything. We should be able to see everything. I don't think that our officers will be sticking $10, $20 in their pocket, but we'll be able to check everything. That was a legit question.
Yes.
We'll be able to check everything, but if our residents charging 20, 30, 40, the city should be able to get that funding to, like I said, trash bags, clean up, there's everything associated with that day. And last but definitely not least, I want to say a prayer for Miss Hubbard, which is Dr. Guy's mother, going through some health situations. So please keep her in your prayers. Thank you, Madam Chair. That concludes my voice.
Councilor Austin?
Thank you, Madam Vice President. In addition to all the great things we experienced yesterday at that meeting, there's a lot of stuff that's going on in our city that is changing the way we look. And I went to a listening session with Dr. Pettigrew today, the CEO of the East Cleveland School System, CEO and superintendent. And he's talking about right-sizing the district. They are also having a meeting right now at McGregor to continue to get the community's input into the direction we should go. And one thing that stood out for me was the fact that Shaw High School was built for 1,700 students. And right now they got about 600 and some change at Shaw High School. So that's a lot of empty classrooms. And as we look at our elementary schools, we have 4 elementary schools. And I'm just going to share a few of them. Say, Caledonia, capacity 475, actually enrolled 224. Mayfair, capacity 500. On-hand students enrolled 174. So as you can see, there is, based on the reduction in our population, so want the families that require the educational support. So as we start looking at things that are going to change us temporarily, you know, I ask for your consideration as Dr. Pettigrew and his team go out to kind of inform, not to direct, but to inform. And we have to assist him in making the right decision. So we're going to say Heritage Middle School has 1,275 building capacity. They have 225 students enrolled. That is a large amount of overhead, and we have to be, prepared to make the appropriate adjustments. You see, because we are a thinking and rational body. So we have to be able to make adjustments that are required right now so we can have a future. So with their limited resources, they're trying to see if they can right size and put the best effort towards educating our students as they show up. And you know, there's some initiatives that he talked about, but I just want to share that, you know, it may be a necessity for our city to reduce the size of the footprint or consolidate our babies. And how to best do that, he's looking for your input. So if you get an opportunity to go to the listening session, I don't know if this is the last one tonight.
Yeah, at the Salvation Army.
Okay, excuse me, I stand corrected. At the Salvation Army, please get there and have your voice heard now. It's imperative because he needs the support of the community to get it right. And we only want to do things one time. We don't want anyone left out. That is very, very important to us. And as we all say, we appreciate all the things that our residents do. And I respect all your efforts, and I want them to continue so we can rely on things that we would have us have represent us as a city. And let's continue to change the narratives because we are a body of individuals that are going to come together in a way that's absolutely unheard of, positive, and we're going to grow as a city, period. Thank you, Madam Vice President. That's all I have.
Dr. Guy, you want to have something to say?
Not this time.
I have nothing, so I'm looking to adjourn. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion to adjourn.
I was counting in my head.
Time
Time is